na digital blessing. High tech, they rise, no stressing. Money boy on the beat. I see numbers on my screen. Green candles make me lean. My people, them, they win. High tech, they flow like stream. Enough we go down. Now only young we know. All my people gather round. Make we show them how we grow. High tech, na juju money. Juju money. Price, they rise infinitely. My God, dash us this blessing. This blessings. Digital money, no go rest, oh. No rest. Sharp pattern, they confirm. Every trader, they affirm. All time high, no be ceiling. Market makers, them, they feeling. My brother, check the stats. Numbers climbing like that. New record every day. High tech, show them the way. Enough we go down. The only up we know. All my people gather around. Make we show them how we grow.
Okay, let's take a look how the sound is doing. Do we have it? Oh, I didn't switch it here. Allow me to quickly confirm if everything is working fine before I start 1 hour talk here. That will definitely not be fun for me. Okay, everything is working fine. So cool. So we can start. My name is Hightech. Of course, I'm the creator of Hightech meme coin. Here we have the mint address. It's a Solana meme coin. And on these live streams, I talk about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market, what I think about it, and I comment on Hightech too. So welcome, and let's take a look what we have today in the crypto market, of course. So one of the most important news to me personally is that my algorithm got back into trade on Bitcoin. As you see, here was entry where the rocket the rocket is, and it says long here, of course. So yeah, since then the high we've seen was almost 108,000 here on Binance. Hence the thumbnail where you can see 108k and a rhetorical question: are we about to see new all-time highs? In my opinion, yes. I mean, my own algorithm that I have written, as you see, is indicating that we are having upward momentum back again. So I must give it an extra benefit of a doubt here. Of course, this is the algorithm that have been paying my bills for a very long time already, long years. So even though sometimes it gives a lot of fake outs, at the end of the day, that's the job. And definitely, once it pops up with entry signal or exit signal, history has proven above any doubt that it definitely should not be, those signals should not be underestimated. So that is why, yeah, that's all I think. I mean, I've been saying to you guys, do not short this market with those conditions, with this setup that we're having when it comes to liquidity. Is definitely not profitable to short it for the big players. Hence, they will not be doing it. Hence, in order to actually make it profitable, they have to mark prices higher, and that is why, even if they want to withdraw from this market for whatever reason, I don't really think they have a good reason for now. I mean, for upcoming months, given that, let's say, situation in the Middle East, it's somewhat under control, I think. I mean, Donald Trump was really pissed off just recently about what is going on there. I think that was the first time I saw him cursing on the television. So that is why on air, literally, somebody, I mean, somebody who was publicly cursing. So previously, I think it was caught only. It was recorded only in private conversation when he was using some uncensored words, let's say. So yeah, he was definitely mad. He definitely sent a very strong signal that he will not be tolerating any lack of coordination there from certain small countryside. And that is why I think we are going to have a much calmer situation there for upcoming at least few months, 2 months, maybe 3 months. So exactly as I expected that heading towards the end of third quarter. I mean, the closer we are towards the end of third quarter, the more bullish we will be becoming. And I think the biggest bull trap this year is going to be fourth quarter. So second quarter was not that bad. I think third quarter will be absolutely amazing, and fourth quarter for a change is going to be terrible. Well, and that will be that huge bull trap nobody really expects. So as you see, Bitcoin is not giving up, definitely not giving up. That visit below 100k was very short-lived, exactly as I was saying, as I was predicting that's going to be like that. And we are not stopping here. We are not stopping here. So far, altcoins are still, they have not fully caught up with what Bitcoin is doing, but I think they are going to make their way to it with a with a blast, with a boom, and Bitcoin dominance is going to finally give back. And I know, me talking about Bitcoin dominance could very well become a meme because I've been counting on it going down for quite a while already. And as I said on my last live stream, Bitcoin dominance has been trolling me very efficiently, but the higher it is, the less power it has. So that is why at some point it will literally have to give up. It will have no other option but to do so. So so yeah, let's take a look how it presents itself on the daily. So exactly like this, as you see, we are having fourth consecutive day so far on the daily in green. I mean, this daily candle, of course, is very young because here we look at it in UTC time, so it has just 2 hours and not even a full 20 minutes yet. But yeah, it has already opened pretty fairly nice. I don't really think we should be expecting any negative news today. I think the opposite. If any big news are going to come up, they will be positive. I think there is a much greater chance for it rather than anything negative. I think whatever negative could happen, it already happened. Now we can sit down and I don't know have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and look at it just taking off. Keep staring at it, just taking off strongly in an environment of low liquidity. No to I mean little to no resistance towards the upside because um, that is literally how low liquidity favorites us right now. That it does not create resistance for the upward moves. And like I said, on altcoins we still don't really see it. but I dare to say, that this dip here was the bottom of this whole correction here. And I dare to say from here we are going to see a follow-up of a very strong upward move. Of course, it's not going to be in a straight line up because markets never behave like that, but it's going to be somewhat close to it. And I'm quite sure we are going to take out this cycle high here this time around. So yeah, that's why buckle up, guys. If you don't have any altcoins yet, if you just sold your altcoins, I think you've done literally the worst thing you could do. I think now is the time to actually allocate. I've been saying it for quite a while. All of this zone is the zone that, I mean, where you should be allocating, not selling. And I know to the newbies it sounds completely counterintuitive, but that's the way it is. For the majority, this market must sound completely counterintuitive because this is most of the time a zero-sum game, meaning that 99% of market participants must leave here their last shirt just so the big players can stay big, stay big, or even grow bigger. So yeah, I think it's like almost a no-brainer here not to allocate into any altcoin. To be honest, I mean the biggest no-brainer, of course, is not to allocate into my meme coin. And I don't know who, but somebody apparently listened to my advice because, as you see, just today we had a plus 6.28% move up here. Somebody bought quite few units, quite few high techs. So yeah, who knows? Maybe this is the bottom of this correcting move. That's highly likely. I think everyone who ever had that thing, that thought crossing their minds about selling, they already sold here. I think this market is already left with strong hands only, and I think yeah, we're ready for the second wave up, right? So first wave up was from $1, $1 to over $300, and second wave up I think is going to be at least same as impressive. So that's why, guys, this market is still very small, just 50 participants. With 50 participants we went from $1 to, as of now, $130, over $300 in the peak. So imagine what will happen with the price if we ascend to 1,000 holders, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, because we are going to get those numbers sooner or later. This is not a seasonal project, this is a lifetime project. So yeah, imagine where the price is going to be by that. So right now, whoever really allocates into this market here is super early, and it's very easy to predict what will be following here. So yeah, let me take a look what's going on in the live chat here. All right, live chat so far nobody's writing here. Okay, let's take a look maybe at Bitcoin dominance, what it is doing right now as we speak. So yeah, it's trying to give back a little bit. Yesterday, as you see, we had a nice move up, plus 0.67%. Right now, this daily we start with red daily. That's good. The higher we go, the more difficult this one is. I'm turbo surprised that we went above this high here, this local high here. I was not expecting this to happen, but as you see, it happened. And like I said, this Bitcoin dominance keeps trolling me, right? Whenever I predict that this is going to roll over, It just tells me hold my beer. But yeah, I mean the higher it is, the closer we are. That's undeniable fact. And if somebody thinks otherwise, then they simply do not understand how this chart really works. Let's go over to S&P, how this one was doing today. So yeah, so yesterday, as you see, was a really bullish day. Today was a red day, but we opened quite high. Later, we give back a little bit of that nice open, of that nice opening. But when we examine it under greater resolution, so smaller time frame, as you see, nothing really is going on here. We just go sideways. We still did not take out this bullish high opening here, meaning that overall in this scale of this couple of days, we are on the upward trajectory, right? So we remain bullish, and we are approaching all-time highs. We're getting really close to all-time highs. When we switch to the weekly, as you see, we're in a very close distance, and I think it's very easy to imagine by now that we are going to beat all-time high. And of course, this is something that most of market participants were not expecting, because of that famous saying, "Sell in May and go away." And as you see, this year is not really doing very well. And I've been saying that literally at the end of the second quarter. I said, listen, guys, first quarter was absolutely terrible. That's very unusual, meaning that it will have to shift to some other quarter. Highly likely it's going to shift to second quarter. Why? Because the liquidity is going to favor at the bulls by then, and this is literally what is going on. It is literally what has happened on crypto, and it is literally what is going on in the TradFi space right now. And like I said, I keep preaching, this situation is going to last into the end, until the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter is going to be probably even I would say disastrous. We're going to see those big corrections everyone are expecting now around this time, or expected. Yeah, actually now, right? Because sell May go away does not mean you should sell at the very beginning of the May. Most of people, whenever they follow that saying, they sell at the end of May, or sometime in June. This time, as you see, it was a bad advice, and yeah, I think maybe still people are waiting for it um, to unfold. That famous quote, to unfold. But as you see right now, it's very unlikely it's going to unfold. The market already has tricked those that believed it, and I think is going to be this one is going to be much more painful. The more time goes on, the more painful it will be, and the more that people will regret that they followed that. Okay, let's take a look how gold is doing, but tokenized gold, the one that I like to look at, not the stock gold. So this one is having, okay, this is weekly. Let's go to daily. So yeah, yesterday, as you see, so the actually the candle from 25th, because right now we are looking at the candle from 26th according to UTC time. I know you guys in Americas, you're still in 25th, but UTC time already has 26th. So here 25th has closed in green, looking like this thing wants to, I mean, giving it a look like this thing wants to bounce. And let me tell you, it can very well bounce. but doesn't have to. We will see, how it's going to look with M2 injection into economy. So cash supply, cash injection into global economy. How this one is going to look. The more cash will be injected into the global economy, the more this one should look bad, theoretically speaking, unless we go into territory of, I don't know, hyperinflation, unless we get closer to inflation increase, then everything will be rising in price. Gold too, but of course it's going to perform worse than risk on assets anyway. So it still should go Bitcoin way. By the way, let's take a look how gold is doing against Bitcoin, because as I said some time ago on these live streams, on my Polish live streams, this is the only chart that does not fit the whole picture in my eyes, because this is how it looks on the weekly, and it literally gives me a vibe that it wants to bottom out. So gold wants to bottom out against Bitcoin. That could potentially mean that Bitcoin is not going to have the best of performances. But yeah, again, considering the whole setup of that low liquidity gives us right now, it seems unlikely that Bitcoin will perform bad. So I think this one is a very confusing signal. Right now, as you see on the weekly, is moving down, which clears out a little bit, things. Makes my impression fixes my impression a little bit, but it still gives me vibes like this can be the bottom for the gold, right? So it's very confusing, because theoretically speaking, if gold performs good, Bitcoin should perform bad, not the other way around. And um, yeah, in current situation, I'm betting on Bitcoin doing well. This thing completely collapsing. But I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know that if it indeed goes other way around, I called your attention here that this one could be a sign that something that we do not see, at least for now, is brewing in the dark, and is going to attack us. But the odds, I think, are much more for Bitcoin performing well than not, and outperforming gold than not. It would be very, very weird if we see the opposite. If gold outperforms Bitcoin, and then we can speculate on let's say all of this dynamic transferring over to altcoins. It is possible. I mean, altcoins definitely will outperform Bitcoin at some point, because it happens every single cycle, and that's only logical that it happens every single cycle, because altcoins are simply much smaller when we measure them by capitalization and liquidity, so they have it much easier to grow much more aggressively. But yeah, this one is definitely not fitting the whole puzzle, but it can adjust at any given moment in time. If Bitcoin keeps rising, gold keeps correcting, it's going to look much more fitting, into this whole picture, and that is what I expect to happen. So yeah, let's go back to Bitcoin for a moment against USDT before we. Yeah, on the weekly, I think it's worth mentioning that this weekly is wiping out, the whole bad impression created by the preceding three weekly candles, because it's literally removing all of the losses that occurred during that time. And even if it closes like this, it's very bullish. I mean, it gives it a very bullish look in my eyes, and it brings back from the dead the narrative, or the let's say the take that all of this is actually a bull flag on the weekly. That was something I was speculating on when we were getting this red weekly, and it easily opens the door to speculation that the next candle is going to be a very very strong continuation. Next weekly candle is going to be a very very strong continuation of the support move. So yeah, it's difficult not to like it if you if you are a Bitcoin bull right now or a crypto bull. Right now, me myself, I'm a bull. There are times when I'm a bear. It's not like I'm a perma bull. You will definitely you will definitely see times when I will be telling you guys to get out from this market. I don't really think after this bull market everything switched to denominating in Bitcoin. Like whole world will start to denominate everything in Bitcoin. Some Bitcoin maxis are dreaming about that coming true. That Bitcoin will become so dominant after this bull market that people will accept it as a world reserve currency that is not subjected to any government. It's not subject to any government. I have very serious doubts about it. I don't think that is going to happen. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in next cycles, but definitely not this one. It would be way too early. And crypto has way too many flaws for now in order to be able to pull something like that off. Uh, to name, to name as first throughput, right? The transactional throughput on Bitcoin blockchain is very, very low. Lightning Network does not really solve that problem to a degree that everyone would like to. So yeah, technically speaking, that is not really feasible yet. So yeah, let's take a look how the live chat is doing. If you guys have any questions, of course, ask them in the live chat. I will see your questions here. I see there is 3 people watching right now. So yeah, okay, let's go over to my X. Let's take a look what is going on there. Somebody liked one of my posts, Global Crypto Federation. Okay, thanks. So the Global Crypto Federation liked my post about these live streams. That's cool. Okay, what we have here. Dylan Leclerc asks Elon Musk if he has B, so Bitcoin, right? Whenever you've traded for so long, you open up the BTC chart and see a disgustingly strong weekly candle. Disgustingly strong weekly candle. Everything becomes a mind game. You theorize. If we were to go down, why was 100k defended? Why did it V reverse back up and not break down from there? Yeah, because of liquidity. I've been telling you guys, you must pay attention to liquidity. If you exclude the liquidity from your picture, you will not be understanding where the money lays, right? And liquidity, shortly after we abandoned 100k levels, we went a little bit higher again, went back down, right? went way below $100 million, as you see on Bitcoin and Ethereum. On Ethereum is actually, that one is not that low, 56 million levels, but on Bitcoin 64, that's really nothing. And others, as you see, less than $20 million. Very, very, very low liquidation levels, meaning that there is no money in trying to push this market down. There's no market in dwarfing this market, because if big players want to offload right here, they're going to overpay in spreads like 30%. So it makes literally zero sense to them for them to do it that way. It's much cheaper to keep drawing the price much higher, make some, I don't know, social media campaign, mainstream media campaign, call people, for gathering here, to give that exit liquidity and then dump on them, right? So it's just much cheaper that way, simply much cheaper than to dump it right here when nobody's really interested. We are really really high with the price in the vicinity of all-time highs, and nobody's interested. This is a very unusual situation, and that pretty much guarantees us that we are not going to get dumped here. We are literally in a protected region, within a protected time. So, like I said, not to allocate right now is a no brainer, absolute no brainer, and the biggest no brainer is not to get yourself at least a little bit of my meme coin, high tech, of course, right here. The link to it you will find in the description section of this live stream. As you see, there is a very, very few investors so far. 50 investors so far, 50 holders. That's nothing. And we managed to go from $1 to $130 as we speak. So imagine where the price is going to be when we have 5,000 hodlers, 10,000 hodlers, 20,000 hodlers, because we will get there. We will get there. So here is your opportunity to be very early in certain market, high tech market, and that is what you want to what you want to find. A market that is super early, right? With its stage of development. And other than that, I think whatever you allocate into from on altcoin side is going to turn into solid results. I mean, not as solid as on the asset I just proposed, but yeah, I think I mean, from here not to make money within the next several months, it's going to be difficult. If you keep allocating now, it's going to be difficult, literally difficult not to make money, at least until the end of third quarter. Fourth quarter we can have, of course, big corrections, uh, very very probable. Like I said, I believe the biggest trick of this year is a shift of two bullish quarters, which is the first quarter and fourth quarter with second and third. I think that is the biggest mind trick of the market, of the global market this year, TradFi and crypto. So let's go back to my X timeline. Let's see what's interesting there. Natalie Smolensky, ire interedi in interiore homine habitat veritas. Agustin. I know Spanish. This is Latin. I know Spanish. And Spanish is at times very very similar to Latin. It takes a lot from English. Also has many Latin words, but not to the same extent as Spanish. And I'm trying to understand what the hell is written here. Nori for us, ire is I will go in the ready. Ready, I think is red. In interior, which is in the inside, homine habitat veritas. Homine is like human-like. Habitat is the habitat. But yeah, I'm having a very difficult time understanding it. Allow me to skip on it. So sometimes when I read Latin sentences from ancient Rome, for example, I will understand them straight away, solely with my Spanish. But sometimes yeah, sometimes it's a little bit to interpret. But those guys, the in the times of Roman Empire, they crafted golden sentences, like so smart, very smart, biblically wise. There's very wise proverbs coming from Bible, but I must admit from the times of Roman Empire also plenty. Capital. If you are fat and broke, you can just stop eating for a couple of days and make some progress on both of your problems. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, it's, as always, easier said than done. If somebody is having eating disorders, probably because of the level of stress he is dealing with. Most of the time is somehow related to level of stress. So that is why it's a little bit more difficult than it seems. Even though me and myself, I do not have eating disorders. I actually eat once a day, only once a day. A nice it must be, of course, very yummy to my taste, but only once a day. Marino Fall, Elon. I didn't need an aerospace degree to outlaunch NASA. Yeah, that's true. He doesn't have one. I do have a physics background that's helpful as a foundation. I don't have an aerospace degree. I read a lot of books and talked to a lot of smart people and have a great team. Okay. Physics is actually not that. Uh, once you once you dedicate yourself to really get it, me I quickly forget the like equations and rules and stuff. But if I really needed to refresh it, I would have it very easy to actually get. It's not that complicated. If you know programming, for example, you will not have any problems with understanding physics at any at TFTC. Being anti-Bitcoin in 2025 is like being anti-internet in 98. 59% of the Senate, 66% of the House are now pro-Bitcoin. Yeah, that's true. With the current administration, it's like going against the tides. It's very difficult and it will warn you out anyway. Kyle just said this isn't 2021 alt season yet. Retail hasn't returned, but when they do, they rush to exchanges and find almost no BTC left. I don't think the retail will be looking after BTC. I think they will be going after mostly probably in first wave their utility coins. The White House, that is home. Hey, 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 daddy. Trump attended the NATO summit in The Hague, Netherlands. That is home. Is this for real or is it a deep fake? It looks it gives me like a little bit of a deep fake vibe, but it's probably real because Matrix is breaking. Let's be honest. White House official just said Bitcoin and crypto is about to explode soon. They keep saying that for a long time, or the big Bitcoin maxis they keep playing the same videos for like 6 months already. Altcoin Daily. Hi, my name is Altcoin Daily. I like crypto. What? This is probably AI generated. Highly likely. Like, it sounds dumb. Bro is dating a vampire, yeah, because there is no reflection in the mirror of this chick. That was probably on purpose to call attention. Breaking. Trump calls CNN disgusting and incompetent. Not for fake news. CNN is so disgusting and incompetent. Some of the dumbest anchors in the business, and it's not the first time. Coinbiro latest GameStop prices another 450 million via zero interest notes, bringing the chest to $2.5 billion. Nice, nice, very nice. The company plans to allocate a chunk of this into Bitcoin as a reserve asset. Yeah, but how big that chunk is going to be? Meet Kevin. It's been 13 days since the Air India 171 crash, and still no, despite both boxes found 1 and 4 days after the crash. Sus. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, not many interesting things today, to be honest. Just in U.S. federal housing issues order to count Bitcoin and crypto as an asset for a mortgage. Yeah, this one is actually the this is fucking nuts. This one is the biggest news of yesterday and today. I think, or was it? No, I think no, it's for of today. And yeah, this one will allow you to get a little bit better credit score if you want a house mortgage and on crypto at the same time. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. Nice to see it. So yeah. Okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up. Let's take a last look at Bitcoin, what that one is doing. Yeah, so it's definitely trying uh, to keep moving forward. As you see, if we flip the chart, if you are, for example, if you have a bearish bias, it is very easy to spot that this one looks weak. This one definitely is not looking right. As you see, it's breaking, is completely collapsing. Is in the midst of collapsing, as you see. But the problem with it for the price is that we are looking at inverted chart, right? So, so like I said, like I keep inducing you guys in when the price is high, there's so much turmoil around the world. The liquidity is low. Those are conditions that favor the bulls, not the bears. So expect further upside, and I think right now the biggest win-lose ratio lays in altcoins, in meme coins, in altcoins, not really in Bitcoin. Even though this one will of course be displaying results too. And of course, the best trade that you can take right now, in my eyes, is my own meme coin, high tech, right here. Link in the description section of the live stream. And this one is the biggest no-brainer on the entire internet in my eyes. So yeah, do with it whatever whatever you consider. Anyway, guys, thank you for your time, and I definitely see you sometime soon. Cheers.